and welcome to LawSikho's thorough newspaper analysis for the 2nd of July 2023. So today we have one editorial article which has been taken from the Indian Express and is titled Poll Candidates' Criminal Records, Past SC Rulings and Fresh Letter to the Election Commission. For the second and the third segment of the day, we will have the news update and the legal news. Now, in today's article about poll candidates' criminal records, it specifically comes to light because the Association for Democratic Reforms wrote to the Election Commission seeking action against political parties that fail to publish details of criminal antecedents of their election candidates. Now, in the letter, they mentioned that they were seeking strict action to be initiated against the defaulting political parties which had contested the 2023 assembly elections held in Tripura, Meghalaya, Nagaland, and Karnataka, 2022 assembly elections held in Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Goa, Manipur, and Punjab, and the 2021 assembly elections held in West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Assam, and the Union Territory of Pondicherry. Now, has the Supreme Court ever come forward and said anything regarding this? Well, it turns out that while hearing a petition which was filed by the Public Interest Foundation, the Supreme Court made it mandatory for political parties to publish details of pending criminal cases against election candidates. And this was also to be published on their websites in a format which would be prescribed by the Election Commission of India. Now, while before the ruling, the candidates did declare cases pending against them in the election affidavits that is submitted to the Election Commission of India, the Supreme Court also made it mandatory that the information was to be publicized. I mean, it was not just for the Election Commission, but it was also for the general people to know what kind of people they were voting and what were the charges that were existing against the candidates they could be voting for. Now, it directed the parties to publish the details of pending criminal cases in bold letters and the candidates to inform their party about the cases. The court also ordered that the candidate and the party had to publish this information at least thrice after filling their nominations. Now, subsequently, in February 2020, the Supreme Court again went on to reiterate the same. And this was with regards to a contempt petition regarding its 2018 order, which is the Public Interest Foundation order, for not being implemented. And to this, the Apex Court came forward and reiterated that the parties would have to publish the details of candidates with their pending criminal cases, and it also added that they would have to include the reasons for selecting such a candidate. Now, it's fine for the party, like for the candidates to come forward and say that, yes, maybe I have 5 or 6 criminal cases that are presently running against me and, presently pending in the court of law. But it was not just holding the candidates accountable, but it was also holding the parties accountable, wherein they had to come forward with a proper justified reason as to why did they choose a candidate who already had a significant, let's say criminal background. So this, the Apex Code held that the reasons as to selection shall be with reference to the qualifications, achievements, and merit of the candidate concerned, and mere factor of winnability at a particular place would not be held to be satisfactory grounds. It said that the information had to be published in one local vernacular newspaper, one national newspaper, and on the official social media platforms of the political party within 48 hours of this election, and not less than 2 weeks before the first date of nominations, whichever is earlier. The parties would then have to submit a compliance report with the ECI within 72 hours, the ECI being the Election Commission of India. Now, the question is, what is ADR's claim then? Writing to the Election Commission of India, the ADR has stated that there seems to be a willful disobedience by the parties. It said it has analyzed the forms C2 and C7 where the ECI prescribed formats for submitting the information, and they found many shortcomings in the said format. The ADR said that many political parties did not have a functional website to begin with to publish the information, and those that did had not maintained the information or had inaccessible website links. While the SC said winnability could not be the sole reason for selecting a candidate with criminal antecedents, the ADR letter pointed out that the parties were citing chances of winning as a very valid reason for selecting these candidates, and they were also copy pasting the same criterion for multiple candidates with criminal background. Now, the ADR had originally brought this situation under the apex court's notice, but it was the Supreme Court that directed that the remedy should be pursued under the Election Commission of India. And this is the reason why the present complaint lies in front of the Election Commission of India. And only time will tell what actions are taken and whether the Supreme Court will do something, or rather come out with an order with very stringent punishments if the political parties do not adhere to its guidelines that it has already reiterated twice. Now, for the news updates of the day, we finally have ICICI Securities to become 100% subsidiary of ICICI Bank after delisting. Now, according to ICICI Securities regulatory funding, the company's board of directors approved the draft scheme of arrangement for the delisting of its equity shares. As a result, ICICI Bank will issue equity shares to the public shareholders of ICICI Securities, effectively making the company a wholly owned subsidiary of the bank. Secondly, we also have Shikhar Dhawan to lead India B team at Asian Games 2023. Indian senior batter Shikhar Dhawan will lead the Indian cricket team at Asian Games 2023, while the head of cricket at the NCA, VVS Lakshman, is expected to play the coaching role. According to a report, there are indicators that Shikhar Dhawan may make a comeback as the captain of India B team at the Asian Games, while the main team focuses on World Cup preparations. As the dates of the Asian Games 2023 clashes with the ICC World Cup 2023, BCCI has decided to send the India B team under Dhawan to feature in the Asian Games. Thirdly, we have a very happy news for the market. Sensex breaches 65,000 mark for the first time ever. Benchmark equity indices continued their rally on Monday, with the BSE Sensex breaching the 65,000 mark for the first time ever, propelled by bullish global market trends and foreign fund inflow. Rallying for the fourth straight day, the 30-share BSE Sensex jumped 449.46 points to hit its all-time peak of 65,168.02 in early trade. The NSE Nifty climbed 128.95 points to reach its lifetime high at 19,380. Global oil benchmark Brent crude dipped 0.01% to USD 75.41 a barrel. Next up, we have CBIC plans tighter GST regulation norms using geo-tagging. Following a detection of about 12,500 fake entities, the GST authorities, or the Goods and Services Tax authorities, are looking to tighten registration norms with biometric authentication and geotagging of risky entities. Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, which is the CBIC, Chairman Vivek Johri, said that the return filing system will be tightened further to act against fraudsters who are misusing permanent account number and Aadhaar identification to obtain GST registration. Next up, we have Ajit Pawar as the new Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. NCP leader Ajit Pawar was sworn in as the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra on Sunday afternoon, which is the July of 2nd, after recent political developments in this party reportedly left him disgruntled, resulting in him joining the BJP Shiv Sena Shinde government. A long-standing feature of Indian politics, the appointment of a deputy chief minister represents a political compromise that often follows the formation of a coalition government or when no single leader commands unchallenged authority in the party in power, and loyalty across all the key interest groups in the state is mandatory. Now, for the legal updates of the day, we have 2019 amendment to Section 29A of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996, is procedural in nature, applies to all pending arbitrations. Now, the High Court of Delhi, in the case of Harkirat Singh Sodhi versus Oram Foods Private Limited, has held that the 2019 amendment to Section 29A of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996 is procedural in nature and would apply to all arbitrations that was pending on the date of its coming into force. By way of the amendment, a time limit of 12 months for rendering an award was to be calculated from the date of completion of proceedings and not from the date when the arbitrator entered the reference as provided under the unamended section. For the second legal update of the day, we have criminal court can't review its orders and garb of modification and clarification. Now, recently, we did have a case like this where the court came forward and held, and we covered that the courts could not change their orders, and if they were to actually come forward and change, the only change that would be allowed would be clerical changes, small minor accounting errors and stuff like that. They could not change what was written in the order otherwise. Now, the Sikkim High Court in the case of Eastern Institute for Integrated Learning versus the Directorate of Enforcement has recently asserted that the judgment passed by a criminal court cannot be revised, reopened, or reversed through an application for modification or clarification. The court has held that such applications are an abuse of the judicial process and emphasized the need to uphold the integrity of the administration of justice. So this was all for today. For free study materials and TNA PDF slides, please join our Telegram channel, link of which you can find in the description given below, or you can always scan the barcode that is given on your screen. Don't forget to subscribe us on our YouTube channel to stay up to date with the thorough newspaper analysis as it comes out every day. Thank you.